to all military intelligence reports that I have seen, and also judging from also the actions of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa and the contents thereof of the military intelligence report, one can tell that it is much very closer for military intervention, almost similar to what transpired in 2017, but this time around may be more brutal, largely because of the actions of the current leader in Zimbabwe, and also his desperation to cling into it will make his removal to be more brutal, in my view. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So, from where I am standing, I perceive that the military intervention, almost similar to what happened in 2017, is almost close. Now, let's look at what is happening in the country. There are opposition political party, former opposition political party figures, as well as also opposition political leaders. One thing for sure, that is currently the order of the day in Zimbabwe, is that Mnangagwa has resuscitated the opposition. The opposition is more vibrant. The opposition now has a voice all of a sudden because of his actions to want to continue as a leader beyond his constitutionally prescribed term limit. And also, I would not actually reveal most of the details the way I see them, because I don't want to put certain individuals in danger. If you have studied how I analyze issues on this channel, and then you closely look at the intelligence report that I presented yesterday, you would think that I am told by these guys what I actually say mostly on this channel. Because if you read that intelligence report, the way events are chronicled there, and how we have analyzed issues here, it's almost similar. It's like I'll be reading on their templates, but I would be not. It's just reading the political mood at a time. So, at the moment, remember, there is a constitutional amendment, number 3 of 2026. The first intelligence report actually, in fact, it did not advise, it instructed Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa not to go ahead with constitutional amendment number 3 of 2026. What did the cabinet of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa do? It actually overlooked that intelligence report. And you can tell that intelligence report is coming from the military. Of course, not maybe the current command structure that Mnangagwa has put in place, because he has bribed these individuals. But you can see that there is divisions amongst the generals. And there are generals who go and secretly meet and actually take up decisions. And at the moment, the mere fact that these military generals who met, they can actually say, okay, let's release this intelligence report and put it in the public domain. They are now acting like exactly like Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. Okay, we instructed him that please don't go ahead with this process. He goes ahead. Now let's leak this information so that he understands that we are step ahead. So if you look at the intelligence reports that I presented, I think in the previous second of the last video, you will discover that intelligence report, it is actually up to date with what Mnangagwa is doing. And they can tell you about even the recent events that transpired in Zimbabwe. They unearthed the individuals that were used to assault Professor Lovemore Matuku. And actually, they raised also an alarm of why that assault happened and what was the ulterior goal. The ulterior goal is to kill Professor Lovemore Matuku. Why are there always no comments? No, it doesn't make sense. I don't speak for comments. So, anyways, it's just meant to distract me. Let me just continue. So, why is it? Because these are very sensitive issues. Maybe that's why people they don't comment. And anyway, I don't thrive on comments. The mere fact that people can listen and hear, that's enough for me. Because most of the comments, of course, some they are very very relevant, but most of them they are actually they don't make a sense at all. So that intelligence report being out, it exposed that what Mnangagwa is doing, those military generals are actually a step ahead of him. They understand everything that is happening in the camp of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, in the camp of Zwikanandas. And I must attest that not all Zwikanandas actually support Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa's amendment number 3 of bill number 3 of 2026. Some are there to spy information for the generals, and they feed the information straight to the generals. Because how do you explain a scenario whereby they are even aware of the secret interventions that are done by Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa on opposition political figures? Now you underestimate those intelligence reports at your own peril. Of course, I've seen Varakashis trying to actually dispel that, trying to portray that report as lies, fiction, something that, I mean, why would someone sit at a certain corner and create that thing? By the way, have they ever agreed on anything? Even the Zimbabwe Republic Police, they did not actually take accountability that they are the ones who escorted the thugs that assaulted Professor Lovemore Matuku. They would never actually, these are criminals, by the way. Have you ever seen criminals, even in a court of law, agreeing with overwhelming evidence, agreeing that they have committed crime? No, they always have their own versions. They fight even if they lose, but they lose actually standing on their lies. So this is what exactly the regime of Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa is doing. And also the regime of Mnangagwa, they are thinking that at the moment US is seized with what is happening in Middle East, so they don't have time for Zimbabwe. That is a serious miscalculation. The United States has embassies. It has also a closer military base in Botswana. So they are up to date in terms of the situation that is happening at the moment, though they are seized with what is happening in Middle East. But remember, they have strategically put all these military bases so that if the situation warrants them to fight war on numerous fronts, they can easily fight war on numerous fronts. So this is a country that has the budget that can take care of the whole world, put on its defense capabilities as well as systems. So I know in the little mind of the Zwikanandas and Mnangagwa, they're saying, no, US is busy at the moment, so we can assault members of the opposition, we can actually kill them and do as we please. There won't be any international reaction. There is absolutely nothing like that. Even if there is no international reaction, but Zimbabweans will eventually react. And now I think there is something that I'm noticing. Zimbabweans have noticed that there is no one who will rescue us until we rescue ourselves. If you look at Professor Lovemore Matuku's attitude, you look at Tendai Mbidi's attitude, it's that of individuals who do not fear. And the Zimbabweans overall, people have actually beaten their fear. They no longer actually look down on. In fact, they no longer actually In fact, they are no longer fearful as they were before. Now they are developing to be brave. A lot of people, a lot of politicians. A red line has been drawn that if, for example, Professor Love Momatuku made it clear that if we don't make it in the courts, then we will push to make it in the streets. That language alone, I mean, back then, they would not speak like that. But if we have politicians who come out to say, no, 2030 term extension, and also constitutional mutilation of 2013 constitution is intolerable, we will fight it. We will make sure that it never sees the light of the day. Those words being spoken by politicians. There were very few politicians back then who could do that. I think I can give it to Job Sikala. Job Sikala is an individual who would actually be confrontational, but other fellow comrades would think, no, Job Sikala is putting us in trouble, and allow him to actually speak in such a manner. So from the look of things, the way I see it, the military intervention is closer than we could imagine. The fact that the military is this confrontational in terms of releasing military intelligence reports and also showing the people, that was meant to show the people of Zimbabwe and also to show Zikanandas and Emerson Tambuzo Mnangagwa that you can do whatever you do, but be mindful, we are also step ahead of you. Whatever you do, understand that we are, we understand what you do, and we are following everything that you do. We know the plans that you are carrying out, and that is not done solely as a deterrent. And if you look, those are no longer, otherwise intelligence reports, and that intelligence report, by the way, was submitted to someone. It has been leaked publicly. It was meant to be a top secret. It's meant also to show the regime of Mnangagwa that as much as you do your things, there is a plan behind the scenes. There are reports that we do behind the scenes. There are risk assessments that we do. And at the moment, we want to show you our assessment in terms of political risk. If you looked at that intelligence report, the assessment according to that intelligence report, Zimbabwe is at a situation where it needs political rescue at the moment. That is what essentially that report was saying, where it needs to stop certain individuals. They have actually crossed red lines and they have to be stopped. Now we are seeing these intelligence reports, what is left, and that intelligence report was leaked as soon as it was typed, because the date was not so far. It was too much, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and too much today. It's almost maybe 3, it's 4, if I'm not mistaken. So you can tell we are talking of it being released yesterday, being leaked, in fact, yesterday. And that leakage, don't think it's because they failed to contain their information. No, they are trying to show the other side that whatever you do, we see you. You think you are clever, we are more cleverer than you. We meet and we actually discuss about everything that you do. We are up to date in terms of your steps and your moves. So as you do whatever you do, be mindful that we are up to date, and be mindful also that we will eventually act. And be mindful that at the moment, the current political situation, as per our characterization, it requires immediate intervention. That is what these reports, in simple terms, they are actually saying. And by the way, they would be undermined. Remember when retired General Chwenga did that famous press briefing before the 2017 coup. When he did it, people were saying, it's just one of those ZANU-PF events. A lot of people did not pay particular. Even journalists tried to publish that story, but Zimbabweans were really tired. They were focused on their stomachs and other issues. That to them, they thought it is just those ZANU-PF tricks. But this time around, certain individuals, they say, hey, this, because of what transpired in 2017, you cannot undermine these releases, intelligence releases that are coming out. And if you look at what was documented there, it's exactly what Blessed Geza used to present. But now, instead of Blessed Geza presenting it, now it comes out as intelligence report. This is exactly what Blessed Geza used to do. Come out and do it. And I hope at the moment maybe there is nobody who can actually, on behalf of the deep state, who can act in a manner Blessed Geza acted, because they understand the consequences that comes with that. So everything is just played privately. They give someone who is in UK to release that report, and no one can actually link that person with what is happening on ground. So whatever they say, it will be just speculation, but without evidence. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to subscribe. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally also press the thanks button and send us stars. Umhlabane is signing off. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast as I give you more.